get that where it's got the screen coming. Can you see it? All right, so let's start looking at the right column. We'll start on let's start off with an easier problem. Let's start off on number 12. I think it's a little bit easier than 11. Number 12, we got a over a minus 1 plus a equals 4a minus 3 over a minus 1. All right, so yesterday, if you look at the left column, everything on the bottom was just numbers or letters. You didn't have any plus signs or minus signs on the bottom of the fractions yesterday. Now we do. We've got like equations on the bottom instead of just a or just a number. Now it's a minus 1. All right, but our rule yesterday that we said still applies. When you're finding a common denominator, it's everything that's on the bottom, use everything one time. So look, it doesn't matter that a minus 1 is used twice on the bottom. When you put it in your common denominator, you're just going to use it one time. A minus 1, a minus 1, and a minus 1. So look at the bottom. Everything that's on the bottom, use it one time. RJ, you probably going to need out a sheet of paper. You got some? Or you need some? This is going to be a lot of work. It'll be hard to write it on that worksheet unless you write it really small. All right, but this one should be a pretty easy problem. You guys look at the first fraction. What's going to cancel out? The a minus 1's cancel. All you got to do is bring down a. So that's pretty easy. All right. Nothing cancels out on the second fraction. How come?
It's just a
Yeah, there's nothing on the bottom to cancel it out with. So what do I bring down?
plus a minus 1.
Well, hang on, Fisher. Watch this. A times a is a squared, and a times negative 1 is negative 1a. Don't forget, you have to distribute if something's left over up top before you bring it down.
Yeah.
Now, the last fraction is going to be easy because the a minus 1's canceled. All right, so looking from here, are we going to have to do quadratic formula?
No.
Do you have an a squared in your problem?
Yes.
Then we are going to have to do quadratic
I
formula.
thought because there were 3 a's.
All right, now look at this. I got 1a here minus 1a there. What's going to happen when I combine those? They cancel, right?
Oh, good point.
So I'm going to bring down a squared on the left side. Move 4a over. That makes it minus 4a plus 3. Now, factor or either do quadratic formula to find the answer. So that one's a pretty easy one. It's a good one to start with on the right column. That's pretty basic. Either quadratic formula or factor.
Does it matter which way you take it? Like, couldn't you move a squared to the other side?
You could, and if you did, Michaela, it's going to look like this. Negative a squared plus 4a minus 3, right? But here's the problem with that. If you're going to factor that, I've never made y'all factor anything with a negative a squared in the front. So I'm always going to move it to the side where I've got a positive a squared in the front. Does that make sense? So I wouldn't do it that way, but you could. All right, let's see what y'all got when you did the quadratic formula. I got 4 plus or minus 16 minus 4 times 1 times 3. So I got square root of 4. Did y'all get square root of 4, which turns into a 2? Now you can find both answers. So that's an easy quadratic formula problem to do. All right, so I got 3 for the first answer, 1 for the second answer. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I say we do another easy one like this before we start doing some that are more difficult. All right, so another one just like this looks like 13 is going to be just like this. So let's do 13. 13, I got x over x minus 5 plus x over x minus 5 equals 3. All right, so you guys look at 13. What's the common denominator going to have to be? X minus 5. Remember, whatever's on the bottom, use it one time. All right, so that was just like number 12. X minus 5, x minus 5, and x minus 5. All right, you do your crossing out now and see what you can do. See what crosses out, bring down what you got, and we'll see if this is the problem that we have quadratic formula on. Alright, what cancels out on the first fraction? The x minus 5. So look, everything canceled. You just bring down x. Same thing here, bring down x. Now, how come nothing cancels out on the last fraction?
There's no x.
Because there's nothing on the bottom, right? So I just distribute, and I got 3x minus 15. Alright, so will we do quadratic formula on this one? Nope, because there's not an x squared, we just do our like term. Add these two up, you get 2x equals 3x minus 15. That's the first step. Alright, what's next? I'm going to move 3x over here, make it a negative 3x. So what do we have? I got negative 1x equals negative 15. What's my answer? Positive 15. So yeah, we didn't have to do quadratic formula on that one because there's not an x squared. Alright, so now let's start doing some that are a little different. Let's do 15. It looks a little different. Alright, 12 and 13 are the easy ones on that side. Alright, so we got 15. 1 over x minus 1, 2 over x equals 0. Alright, hardest part on this problem is picking out the common denominator. Anybody got a suggestion? X minus 1 and x. Alright, wait a minute. We didn't do that yesterday, right? For example, yesterday we had it this way. I'm going to just make something up, okay? If it was like that, without the plus or minus sign in the middle, you would just use the x one time, right? Because the rule is use everything one time. But since it's got a plus or minus sign in the middle, you can't split it up, guys. That's considered one number. So our common denominator is going to be x and x minus 1. You got to use them both. X and x minus 1, x and x minus 1. And the reason is the plus or minus that you have in between the numbers won't let you split it up. So that's why this one's going to be a harder problem. All right, you guys try to do your canceling out. Let's see what you get. All right, so what cancels out on the first fraction? Let's see. X minus 1's canceled. Anything that's left over, you got to multiply. So 1 times x, you bring down 1x. All right, second fraction, the x is canceled. What do you bring down? You got to distribute whatever's there. So we bring down 2 times x and 2 times 1. All right, nothing cancels out on the last number because there's nothing on the bottom. So you got to multiply all three together. But what happens when you times something by 0? You get 0, right? 0 cancels everything out. 0 times x is 0. All right, no quadratic formula on this one because we don't have an x squared. You guys do your like terms, you get an answer. Add your x's up. I got 3x. Move that over. I got equals 2. What's my answer going to be? 2/3. Divide by 3 on each side. Y'all can just leave it 2/3. Question on that one. We need to do another one like that. There's a bunch of these we need to do like that. I think 16 is the next. Whoa, that's gonna get dirty. Let's do 11. Let's work into those slowly. 11's kind of like this. Let's do 11. All right. Anybody have an idea about the common denominator?
You're gonna be both of them.
You got to do both of them. when it's got plus signs and minus signs in between them, you can't separate anything. You just gotta write them both down. X squared minus 3 and x plus 4. I'm gonna write them both down above each fraction. X squared minus 3 and x plus 4. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys time to do your crossing out. I do not have your notebooks graded yet. I'll get those back hopefully by Monday. RJ, you got your math folder right now? Go through it and get your stuff out. Where are you working? When you get a chance to go through your bag, get me out all your work and I'll go through get what I need. Alright, so watch. Look at the first fraction. These two cancel out, right? So what do you bring down? X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. So it wasn't that bad. Second fraction, x plus 4 is canceled. What do you bring down? 5x squared minus 15. All right, so will we have to do quadratic formula on this one? Yes, because I've got an x squared in my problem. All right, does it matter which side of the equal sign I move all my numbers? Not really. I'm going to move 1x over here, make it negative 1x squared. That's going to give me 4x squared on the right side. Now, why am I moving everything on the right side and not everything on the left? Because I like that first number to be a positive. I don't want it to be a negative 4, especially if you're going to try to factor. All right, so I'm going to move this 4x over. It's negative 4x minus 15. All right, you guys do quadratic formula with that one. And this one might have an extra step at the end I have to show you. I'm not sure. All right, what number did y'all get inside the square root symbol? 256. All right, that turns into 16. So we got 4 plus or minus 16 over 8. Go from there and find both answers. So I got 20 over 8, which is 5 over 2. We got negative 12 over 8, negative 3 over 2. All right, check my answers for me. Everybody's got? All right, let's do some of the hard ones. Let's go to 16. All right, you guys see where it says on 16 their variables t. Y'all care if I just make it an x? So it's 3x minus 2 on the bottom, 2x, and then 3x plus 2 over here. Equals 2. All right, look at 16. Look at the bottom of each fraction. What's our common denominator going to be?
3x minus 2 and 3x plus 2.
Good. It's got to be one of each, guys. The plus sign and the minus sign prevents you from just picking out parts of it. It's all or nothing. So, Adam's right. It's going to be 3x minus 2 and 3x plus 2. All right, so that wasn't the hard part yet. 3x minus 2, 3x plus 2, 3x minus 2. write them all down. You guys start your crossing out. When you get to the last fraction, that's gonna be the one that's gonna be a challenge.
I shortened the things right here by making it plus minus.
That's fine. As long as you understand. All right, what cancels out on the first fraction? Let's look at it. I can cross out 3x minus 2. All right, watch. When you bring this down, you got to distribute these two. That's going to give you 12x squared. Distribute these two. That's going to give you 8x. Everybody good where I got that from? Go to the next fraction. What cancels? 3x plus 2. Do the same thing. Distribute, distribute. So I got 6x squared minus 4x. All right, now the last number is where we have issues. What cancels out on the last number? Nothing. So what do I have to do? All right, I've got to distribute these two first. That's going to give me 6x minus 4. Write it down. Does everyone see how I got 6x minus 4? Now what do I do with the other one? I bring it down behind it. And how do I multiply those two out? You gotta pull them out now. Yep, it's gonna be a lot of mess, a lot of work. I'm not gonna give you many of these. I know these are longer. You guys pull that out, bring down what you get on the right side. Yeah, I know.
Did I cross multiply?
Can you cross multiply?
No, this should be, I mean.
Just pull it out, Fisher. I times those two, that's 18x squared. Times those two, that's 12x. I got a minus 12x and a minus 8. All right, any question how I got any of that before we go to the next step? All right, now what I want y'all to do, add up your like terms on the left side of the equal sign and the right side of the equal sign. Do that. You can do that by yourself. Then I'll show you how to finish it up. All right, so I got 18x squared plus 4x. These two cancel. I got 18x squared minus 8. Check my work, make sure we got the same thing. All right, so you would look at this and say we're going to have to use quadratic formula because we got an x squared. But what's going to happen with this 18x squared when I move it over here? They cancel out. They're both gone now. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So we just got 4x equals negative 8. What's your answer? Negative 2. All right, so that one's messy. We're going to do, what time is it? We're going to do one more of these, maybe two more, and then we'll take a break. May not make us do all these on this paper. Let's do question. Which part you got a question on, Beck? Okay, I added these two up right here, I got 18x squared. I added these two up right here, I got positive 4x. Alright, and then I did the same thing back over here. When I added these two up, they just canceled out, so I just marked them out. So I just brought down 18x squared minus 8. Alright, we need to go to 18. We're going to skip 17.
We're skipping it?
Yeah, I'm skipping it. Just won't do it. Y'all, you're going to get plenty of practice on these. Let's go to 18. All right, everybody's got 18 copies. All right, we got something new on 18. look at the bottom of both fractions. This is the first time we've had to deal with one of them having an x squared, right? No, I think we might have had one a minute ago. But on this one, this is the first one we've had that you could factor out the bottom. We haven't had one before where you could factor. How do we factor x squared minus 16? I know it's x times x.
One's positive, one's negative.
Plus 4 and minus 4. All right, if you can factor the bottom, you've got to factor it. Now, I'll show you which ones on your test. I'll say, hey, factor 5, 6, and 7. I'll give you a heads up. All right, so now look at what we've got after we factor.
It's gonna be x.
What's our common denominator going to be?
X plus minus 4.
Yep, because the rule is you got to use one of everything on the bottom. So I got to use an x plus 4 and an x minus 4. All right, let's give y'all a chance to do your crossing out, see if you can do it.
So when you factor, those two become the bottom fraction. Right.
That is your new bottom right there. Throw the old bottom out, this is your new bottom. Okay, we'll do one more of these factoring ones before we take a bathroom break. Maybe, I think you should. Now, your numbers are gonna be a lot bigger than our numbers are gonna be, but I think you should get the same answer. Your quadratic formula is probably gonna be some huge numbers. All right, I like the first fraction because everything cancels out. When everything cancels out, you just bring down 12. I like those. All right, second fraction, which one cancels? X minus 4. All right, everybody watch. Don't forget, this is negative 24 times x. And this is negative 24 times 4. Somebody times that for me.
Negative 96.
Okay, thank you. So you have to distribute the negative 24. It's not a positive 24, it's a negative 24. All right, right side of the equal sign, nothing cancels out because we don't have anything on the bottom. So I just showed y'all how to do this. How do we do it when you got 3 of them? You first distribute 3 with the first one, that'll give you 3x plus 12. And you bring down the last one. All right, how do I finish it up? Fold it out. So you guys fold that out, bring down what you get, and then we'll decide if it's going to be a quadratic formula problem or just an adding like term problem. All right, so we got 3x squared minus 12x plus 12x minus 48. All right, I need to slow down a minute. All right, so from here, you guys add up your like terms on each side before we start moving stuff from left to right. All right, I'll let y'all help me. What's 12 minus 96? Somebody do that.
Negative 84.
So I got negative 84 minus 24x on the left. All right, look at the right side. Hey, I can see my negative 12, my positive 12 is going to cancel out again. That makes it easier. All right, so now we can decide, is this going to be a quadratic formula problem? Yeah, because it's got an x squared. So I want to get everything on one side. And remember, it doesn't matter which side. So since I've already got a positive 3x squared over there, I'm just going to leave it there and move everything else over there. So what's going to happen with negative 24x when I move it? Positive 24x. Negative 84 be a positive 84. Somebody add those two up for me. Negative 48 plus 84 is?
36.
36. All right, I'm going to show you guys an extra step that you don't necessarily have to do, but I think it'll make it easier for you. If you wanna do quadratic formula with those three numbers, go ahead, it'll give you the right answer. But here's something I've never showed y'all in here before. If you can divide them all by 3, it would make your numbers a lot smaller, which I think it would make it easier. You don't have to do this step. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 36 divided by 3 is 12. If you want to do that step, you can. You don't have to. You can factor that actually now. It's so easy. You could factor that. Go ahead. Okay. I did the full method with that and that. So 3x times x gave me 3x squared. Then I had a negative 12 and a positive 12. They cancel. 12 times 4 is negative 48.
Don't you times the 3 to both of them though?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do it to the second part then.
I times these two, I got 3x squared. I times these two, I got negative 12x. Then you slide over and do the same thing with the 12.
But whenever you do the 3 times the x plus minus 4, you have to time it, don't you have to times it to the x plus minus?
No, you just times both of these by the 3x first, then slide over and times both of these by the 12. That's full math. Alright, so answer on this one, if you guys want to factor this one, it would make it really quick. Use 6 and 2.